Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Vidya Kshetra channel. Today, we are going to explore one of the most important and highly discussed topics in the .NET ecosystem, the key differences between .NET Core and the .NET Framework. Even though they belong to the same family, they are not the same platform, and they definitely are not meant for the same kind of applications. Developers, students, and even professionals in the industry often get confused when deciding which one to learn, which one to select for real-world projects, and which one is truly future-ready. So in this video, we are not going to waste time talking about basic definitions. Instead, we are focusing only on differences. We'll look at how these two platforms differ in real-world usage, how they differ in performance, how they differ in architecture, how deployment works differently, and why Microsoft itself has clearly shifted development direction toward one of them. You will understand why .NET Framework dominated for many years, why .NET Core was introduced, why the industry is rapidly moving toward it, and in which situations you should still continue using the .NET Framework confidently. My goal is simple: by the end of this session, you will have absolute clarity, no more confusion, no more guessing, no more "which one should I choose?" You will clearly understand where .NET Framework stands today, where .NET Core leads the future, and how you can make the right decision for your learning journey and your professional development career. So, sit back, relax, and stay with me till the end, because every section builds deeper understanding. Let's begin our journey into the world of .NET Core versus .NET Framework differences. Let's begin with one of the most significant and game-changing differences: platform support and operating system compatibility. The .NET Framework is strictly tied to the Windows operating system. If you build your application using the .NET Framework, it means that application is locked to run only inside the Windows environment. In earlier days, this was perfectly acceptable because most enterprise servers, office systems, and corporate applications operated purely on Windows infrastructure, so developers never really felt restricted. But the world changed. Organizations began using Linux servers, cloud computing became dominant, containerization became standard practice, and cross-platform flexibility became essential, not optional. And this is exactly where .NET Core brings a revolutionary transformation. Unlike the old .NET Framework, .NET Core is truly cross-platform. It supports Windows, it supports Linux, and it supports Mac OS. You can build an application once and run it on multiple operating systems without rewriting the core logic. This opens up an incredible amount of flexibility. Developers are no longer forced to rely on Windows servers. Organizations can choose Linux if they want cost efficiency. They can choose Windows if their ecosystem demands it. They can choose Mac OS for development comfort. It becomes incredibly powerful when combined with cloud platforms like Azure, AWS, and Google Cloud, because most modern cloud environments rely heavily on Linux. So if we simplify this section, the difference becomes crystal clear. .NET Framework equals Windows only, .NET Core equals cross-platform freedom. This difference alone makes .NET Core far more suitable for modern software development environments, for companies evolving digitally, and for developers who want to work with the latest technology stacks. Platform independence is one of the strongest reasons why the world is moving forward with .NET Core. Architecture and design philosophy. Now let's move to another extremely important difference: architecture and design philosophy. The .NET Framework was built years ago, when monolithic applications were the industry standard. Applications were large, everything was bundled together, and they relied heavily on one big system-wide framework installation. This means, if the framework version changed, all applications depending on it were impacted. Applications were heavier, less modular, and lacked flexibility for customization. Fast forward to today, software architectures have drastically changed. We now focus on lightweight systems, modular components, decoupled services, and microservices-based environments. Applications today must be scalable, maintainable, and flexible. This is exactly why .NET Core was designed completely differently. .NET Core follows a modular, lightweight, component-based architecture. Instead of bundling everything, developers only include the libraries they truly need. No unnecessary packages, no heavy overhead. This leads to multiple advantages. Applications become faster, they execute more efficiently, they consume fewer resources, and they are easier to maintain. Another massive benefit is customization. Developers have much greater control over components. You are not forced to use the entire framework structure. You build only what your application requires. This modern architecture aligns perfectly with today's microservices, container-driven deployments, and cloud-based infrastructures. So when we talk architecture, the difference is very clear. Net Framework represents the old, monolithic, heavy structure. Net Core represents the new, modular, modern, flexible design. And in today's world, where performance matters, where scalability matters, and where maintainability matters, this architectural difference truly makes .NET Core a superior choice for modern application development. Performance, speed and scalability. Performance is one of the biggest reasons why companies, startups, and global enterprises have aggressively adopted .NET Core. When you look at application performance, you care about execution speed, memory usage, response handling, and overall efficiency. Net Framework is reliable, but it was never designed for today's ultra-fast internet era, where applications must respond instantly, handle massive user traffic, and work under heavy loads. .NET Core was built with performance in mind. It delivers faster execution, more efficient garbage collection, improved thread handling, and significantly better request processing. ASP.NET Core consistently ranks among the fastest web frameworks in the world in multiple industry benchmarks. This means websites respond faster, apps perform quicker, real-time applications handle more users, and enterprise systems become more efficient. But performance is only half the story. The second half is scalability. Modern applications do not serve just a few hundred users anymore. They serve millions. They run globally. They expand dynamically. .NET Core is built exactly for this environment. It supports microservices. It supports distributed systems. It supports cloud-native designs. It scales horizontally with container platforms like Docker and orchestration tools like Kubernetes. This gives organizations the power to build systems that grow smoothly, handle spikes in traffic, and maintain stability under huge workloads. Meanwhile, .NET Framework is still stable and dependable, but it simply does not match the raw performance and scalable capability that .NET Core provides. So, if your application needs speed, efficiency, high performance, and massive scalability, .NET Core is unquestionably the strongest and smartest choice. Deployment and version management. Deployment is another area where the difference becomes extremely obvious. With the .NET Framework, applications depend directly on the framework installed on the system. This means, if two applications need different versions, you may immediately face compatibility issues. Updating one application might accidentally break another. This problem is famously known as dependency hell. Organizations struggled with this for years. Production teams feared updates, developers feared version conflicts, operations teams feared downtime. Then came .NET Core and completely changed the game. .NET Core supports side-by-side versioning. Multiple .NET Core versions can run on the same system without any interference. Even more powerful is self-contained deployment. Applications can carry their own runtime within them. They do not rely on system-installed versions at all. This gives developers complete control over compatibility, stability, and update cycles. Deployment becomes easier, safer, and more reliable. This is incredibly important for enterprise environments, cloud applications, microservices, and continuous deployment pipelines. So when we compare, deployment in .NET Framework is rigid, risky, and version-dependent. Deployment in .NET Core is flexible, stable, modern, and developer-friendly. This single difference has saved organizations countless troubleshooting hours and has made .NET Core a preferred platform for professional production environments. Development model and modern support. Development today is no longer what it used to be years ago. The world of software has completely transformed, and modern development now demands modern capabilities, modern thinking, and modern technology support. Applications today are not just simple programs installed on a local system. They are cloud-connected, always online, highly interactive, and constantly evolving. They are automated, so they deploy faster, they update frequently, and they adapt continuously to user needs. They are containerized, so they can run anywhere, move easily across environments, and scale effortlessly when demand increases. They are continuously monitored, so performance improves, issues are detected early, and user experience remains smooth and reliable. And they are continuously updated, because businesses today cannot wait months or years to release improvements or enhancements. In this rapidly changing development world, NetCore aligns perfectly. NetCore has been designed exactly for this new generation of applications. It supports microservices architecture, allowing applications to be split into smaller, independent services that are easier to develop, easier to deploy, easier to manage, and easier to scale without affecting the entire system. It supports event-driven systems, helping modern applications react instantly to user actions, business processes, and real-time events. It supports REST APIs, which power most of today's mobile apps, web applications, IoT systems, and global enterprise integrations. It supports real-time communication, enabling live updates, instant messaging, live dashboards, financial trading platforms, and interactive user experiences without delay. It integrates beautifully with CI/CD pipelines, making automated builds, automated testing, and automated deployments smooth and efficient. It fits naturally into DevOps workflows, allowing development teams, operations teams, and business teams to stay aligned and deliver value continuously. And most importantly, NetCore is built for cloud-native architecture. Whether your application runs on Azure, AWS, Google Cloud, or any private cloud, NetCore handles it effortlessly. It works seamlessly with Docker containers, allowing applications to be packed, lightweight, portable, and fast. It works seamlessly with Kubernetes to manage scaling, self-healing, rolling deployments, and enterprise-grade orchestration. It integrates smoothly with modern deployment tools, monitoring tools, logging solutions, and security frameworks that are essential in today's digital world. Meanwhile, the .NET framework still holds huge value, especially in environments that are heavily Windows-based, enterprise-focused, and dependent on long-standing legacy systems. It's incredibly strong for traditional enterprise applications, internal business systems, and organizations that simply cannot migrate immediately to modern platforms. So it still matters, it is still powerful, and it is still relevant for specific enterprise needs. But when we talk about building new applications, applications designed for the future, applications that require speed, flexibility, scalability, and innovation, when we talk about digital transformation, cloud adoption, technology modernization, and staying competitive in today's fast-moving world, NetCore leads very clearly. It is the platform that aligns with future vision, supports evolving business needs, and empowers developers to build powerful, modern, global-class applications. In simple words, for the future of development, NetCore is not just an option, it is the direction modern development is moving toward. Open source vs closed. Open source has completely changed the software world. And when we talk about .NET Core, this becomes one of the most powerful and game-changing differences between .NET Core and the traditional .NET framework. .NET Core is completely open source, and it is managed under the .NET Foundation. This means the framework is not locked behind closed doors. It is not something controlled quietly, it is openly available, transparent, and visible to everyone. Developers from all around the world contribute to it. They review the source code, they understand how things are built, they identify problems, they raise issues, they submit improvements, and they help shape the future of the platform itself. This global collaboration creates a powerful ecosystem. Bugs get fixed faster, features are added more frequently, security becomes stronger, and innovation never stops. There is constant feedback, constant improvement, and constant evolution. This openness also builds trust. Developers trust a platform when they can see it. Organizations trust a platform when they know it is community-backed, continuously reviewed, and widely adopted across the world. Open source removes fear because nothing is hidden, everything is visible, everything is transparent, everything is accountable, and this is a major reason why .NET Core has grown so fast and has become so popular in such a short time. Now, let's compare that with the .NET framework. The .NET framework remains largely closed source and controlled primarily by Microsoft. Yes, it is stable, yes, it is trusted, and yes, it has powered enterprises for many years. But because it is closed, only Microsoft controls its direction, only Microsoft decides what changes, what updates, what features, and what improvements happen, and when they happen. This naturally means evolution is slower, innovation moves at a different pace, community involvement is limited. Developers cannot simply open the source and understand how it works internally. They cannot freely modify, experiment, or contribute in the same collaborative way they do with .NET Core. So when we compare the two, the difference becomes crystal clear. .NET Framework equals controlled, closed, slower evolution. .NET Core equals open, transparent, fast evolving, community driven. This open source nature is not just a feature, it is a philosophy, it is a mindset, it is a direction toward the future of technology. It encourages developers, it encourages innovation, it encourages modern engineering culture. And that is one of the biggest reasons why .NET Core has gained massive worldwide adoption, why companies trust it, why developers love it, and why the global technology community has embraced it so strongly. In a modern software world, where openness means power, .NET Core stands ahead, with confidence, strength, and undeniable global support. Tooling, libraries and ecosystem expanded. When we talk about development platforms, tools, libraries, and ecosystem strength play a massive role in developer productivity, application quality, and long-term project success. Both .NET Framework and .NET Core support powerful development tools and offer rich programming capabilities. But .NET Core brings a whole new level of flexibility and modernization to the development experience. .NET Core introduces strong cross-platform tooling, allowing developers to build, run, debug, and publish applications not only on Windows, but also on Linux and Mac OS. It provides a highly capable command line interface that makes development faster, smoother, and more automation-friendly. Developers can initialize projects, manage dependencies, publish applications, and integrate into DevOps pipelines with ease. Debugging performance is faster, diagnostics are more powerful, and profiling tools are constantly improving as part of an evolving ecosystem. Another key highlight is modular package usage. With NuGet-based dependency management, developers only include what they truly need. This keeps applications lightweight, clean, and optimized. Meanwhile, the .NET framework still remains incredibly strong in Windows-specific development. It dominates desktop application development with mature ecosystems for WPF, WinForms, enterprise UI systems, and long-established corporate application infrastructure. It has a vast number of libraries built over years, deep integration with Windows APIs, and stability that enterprises trust. However, the technology world is moving quickly. Today the industry trend is shifting towards cloud computing, web applications, REST APIs, microservices, and distributed architectures. And this is exactly where the .NET Core ecosystem is expanding rapidly. It supports cloud platforms, container technologies, modern web development, microservices frameworks, cross-platform runtime support, and continuous integration environments. New tools, new libraries, new frameworks, and new capabilities are constantly being added. So in simple terms, .NET Framework dominates traditional Windows-centric enterprise ecosystems, but .NET Core leads the modern era with evolving tools, modern libraries, cross-platform innovation, and a rapidly growing ecosystem designed for the future. Future direction. Now let's talk about the future, because future direction is extremely important when choosing a platform. Microsoft's official roadmap clearly prioritizes .NET Core and the unified .NET platform, starting from .NET 5 and continuing onward with modern versions. This is where innovation is happening. This is where performance enhancements, new features, security improvements, and modern capabilities are continuously being delivered. The development community, enterprises, cloud providers, and technology leaders are all aligned with this direction. Meanwhile, the .NET framework will continue to exist. It will receive security patches, stability improvements, and essential updates. But it will not be the primary platform for major new advancements. In simple words, Microsoft wants the world to move forward with .NET Core and its unified future platform, because that is where the real growth, the real modernization, and the real innovation will continue. Conclusion. So finally, let's conclude. The .NET framework remains powerful, reliable, and extremely valuable for legacy enterprise environments, Windows-centric ecosystems, and long-established business systems. But .NET Core represents the future. It brings speed, performance, flexibility, cross-platform capabilities, modern tooling, open-source collaboration, and true cloud-ready architecture. They are not competitors, they are not enemies. They simply serve different eras, different needs, and different visions. .NET Framework represents the strength of the past. .NET Core represents the power of the future. Thank you so much for watching. If this helped you, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with others, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'll be happy to help you more. See you in the next video.